Hi, we're Omni-Versal. I'm Sal,
I'm Veronica.
and we're going to tell you a little bit about our channel. We've had our channel for a little bit, but it's just kind of been a bunch of stuff, and we're going to try to at least be more consistent. We had a good following on Instagram showing off things in El Paso, but now I think we want to broaden a little bit to other things. We've I essentially, I guess, want to start back to high school, because that's when I learned a lot of video editing skills, and I like doing videos, and I think this is a good time to continue to do things on YouTube. Also in high school I learned a little bit about photography, so I like doing photography. And then through photography it made me learn a lot of post-production and Photoshop and all that type of stuff. And through when we went to college, that's how we met. Both have music degrees. I have a degree in music education.
I have a degree in musical theater, focused mostly in theater.
And you also got a master's degree?
I also got a master's degree, a master's of science in speech language pathology. Me, going back to high school, I learned a lot of leadership skills. I was president of several different clubs. I also learned about child development. I was in the child development lab. We had this place where it was essentially pre-K, and we were in charge of teaching a bunch of little ones. And so that kind of got stuck in my head, and it carried over into later on when we were in college. I worked at a Gymboree play and learning center. So I was teaching music and developmental skills to little ones. And then it ended up carrying over also into assisting parents with difficult children or teaching them parenting skills, and which was all kind of crazy because I wasn't a parent at the time, but I had so much, I guess, intervention skills from high school and through college that it became second nature.
Yeah, so I think also along with all that is that so we met in college in 2009, and then we got married in 2014. And a lot of the things I would like to steer the channel to now is like things you didn't learn in school. And so there are a lot of things you do learn in school, but there's also a lot of things you don't learn in school. And so some of it being like marriage. So I think we're going on 10 years now, at least as of the recording of this. And I think there's a bunch of other things that there's no way to kind of, I don't know, there's nobody to kind of teach you this stuff. I guess your parents could be the next best thing, but if they weren't in prime examples for it, then where else are you going to learn it? And so there's not that we're saying we're prime examples either, but it's definitely, I think, needs to be taken from different multiple perspectives and just what you were used to or what you were exposed to. And so that's a part of what we'd like to maybe touch upon. Let us know in comments, see which one of these topics that you would be more curious about learning. And along how she was saying about behavioral management, me being an educator and her being a speech language pathologist, we learn a lot of things on how to essentially
Manage behaviors.
Yes, that's exactly the
Manage
words.
behaviors, manage different kinds of, I have to manage different kinds of diagnosis. And all of it stems from your family.
Yeah, and a lot of it is psychological in the sense that there's just kind of the way our brains work, and then this for sure isn't taught in public schools. It's not until you go to college that you kind of learn a little more about psychology and how your brain works and why you think the way you think and why it affects you the way it affects you. And so all these things are still at play with kids and or even other people,
everybody.
For everyone, like family members, friends. Like sometimes they say things that you may take the wrong way or vice versa, and things like that. And so it's been kind of a whole navigation process for us. And I'm sure we're not alone, especially the more we talk to other people about it.
Right, yeah. And we've gotten a lot of that, like, so we do podcasts and whatnot, and we'll interview several different people, and they're always asking us, like, how do you make this work? Like, how are you guys so good with each other or whatever? And I don't know, if we can help spread that knowledge. I think that if it benefits you, then cool. Whoa, the light is flickering.
Right. Yeah, and so along with all that too, like I mentioned, I have a degree in music education, and so I have a degree in music, and so I like to experiment with just different music stuff. I like to do a few compositions here or there. I play percussion and I play guitar, and I'm a band teacher, so I know of the band instruments. So I'm pretty well versed, or at least
knowledgeable. With all of it. Yeah.
About as versed as I'd like to be. There's way more to know, but sometimes it's starts getting a little over my head, and I'm like, nah, I think I'm cool with what I got, and if I can help anyone with what I have, then I'll be glad to help. Moving along, I guess as we grew up too, other things we didn't learn in school is like cooking. She's a really good cook, and she bakes and just does a lot of
home
creative
home
things
stuff
at home, like just even coming up with recipes and just learning things on your own that you just learn through experience, and it's pretty much just learning through doing. And now even we're sharing the knowledge, but also we learned a lot of it through YouTube. Also, YouTube University is also a great place to learn new things. This is something, I guess, when we were younger we didn't have. Like, it was the start of YouTube, and like it wasn't used as much for learning. It was like a lot of the
funny videos, right? Like, we would watch a whole bunch of just like ridiculous stuff, which of course there still is ridiculous stuff, but now we don't watch as much of it. We'll definitely try to learn different skills, different stuff from other people. Like John Cannell.
Yeah.
I love him. That's right. I was inspired to do a whole lot of baking stuff from him. Not one recipe has turned me
and
around.
This one is on YouTube, a Great British Baking Show.
Oh yeah.
And so also now through just going through life ourselves, other things that people have asked us about, like we've bought 2 houses, and so people have asked us like about the home buying process and
purchase cars.
Yeah, and we realize that I guess we're a lucky set, because I guess people in our generation sometimes don't have the luxury of purchasing one home, much less 2 homes now. And so yeah, we consider ourselves very, very fortunate. And yeah, like buying a car, and like your job, you went from having quote unquote regular job to being a contract job, meaning the job doesn't pull out taxes for her, so we've had to learn about taxes on our own, and that's been a kind of a fascinating ride. And
we live in the state of Texas,
right?
And it's really interesting the way that taxes work for us.
Yeah, and actually Texas doesn't have a state tax, but we still do federal taxes, and so it's just been another fascinating learning journey. Yeah, and so we'd love to share knowledge about that. Like we said, parenting also, we mentioned that. Some people have asked us for relationship stuff, as she mentioned too. So mostly, I think we have knowledge that we can pass on, and if you'd have questions or like to accept our knowledge, then we'd graciously give it to you.
I feel like we're the big brother and sister to a lot of people, or I don't know. It used to be like at work they would call me mom. I'm like, my goodness, how am I? How did I get labeled that? But then even some of our nieces and nephews will be like, oh, you're like mom and dad. And so I don't know what kind of vibe we put off, but
I don't mind it. I think it's better than any having I don't know, the deadbeat uncle or whatever, so I'll definitely take it.
Oh yeah, no, I love being supportive, and we just kind of like helping other people and sharing what we know.
Finances, traveling is also another one. Finances, like especially especially
plan a lot.
You can't travel without good finances either, or like a good financial plan to kind of plan a trip.
Even like getting your passport.
Right. Yeah.
Like there are just several different things that you encounter for, so you have a goal of one vacation and all of a sudden you have five different things to do, like TSA regulations. How do you pass through that? What kind of things do you buy? What kind of clothing? So since I'm a mom and I'm an over planning kind of mom, I make sure that he is taken care of to the T. So whatever he will need, it's there. And so I look up weather before, and just there's just several different things that you encounter on your journey, and I would like to share it.
Yeah, and we recently got a dog, and so we're learning some new things with we've had dog owners before. I mean, we've been owners before, but now having our kid, this is his first time having the dog from a puppy. Like the dogs we had, they were already around when he was
born.
Yeah, and so it's not quite the same. We wanted him to experience like the whole growing up with the puppy and the things that puppies have to learn and that he has to learn and we all have to watch out for. And so
that's been a real journey.
Yeah.
It's very funny to hear him screaming at him, "Oh my God!" And then, "Mom, could you please watch him so he doesn't pee? I have to go to the restroom." So just like the different things that you're
and
experiencing life all over again in the eyes of a young person is really cool.
Yeah, and even us still just really like experiencing new things. Like he just started school, and so that's been a little bit different for us. It's like to have him off with somebody else, other
strangers,
that are trusted by society to take care of our kids. And like me being an educator, I kind of never really put myself in that flip side that I'm taking care of somebody else's kid in that sense. And so it's been a little weird, but we'd like to hear stuff from you guys as far as like the later parenting stages, like teens and stuff, or other clubs and things they might get into or not get into, or what you recommend or not. Packing lunches.
Oh my gosh, packing lunch is such a weird thing for me. So yes, I am that person that wakes up in the morning and packs my husband's lunch and packs my kids' lunch, even though they have the opportunity to go and get it themselves. I get it.
Thank you.
But I want to do that. And I want to make sure that he has like proper nutrition and all of this other stuff, right? And so I'll feed him breakfast in the morning. Then they feed them breakfast at school. And then lunch is like 2 hours or something like that later. And so he comes home and he barely touched any of the lunch and he's starving all of a sudden. I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's just been such a learning experience and trying to find the happy medium of like, am I a bad mom or am I negligent if I only pack him a tiny snack for lunch because he's already eaten throughout the day, or
Right. Other thing that pops into mind, I tend to go through phases where I perseverate on things, and so right now,
you guys will see.
Right now it's politics, and so
he's exhausting.
If you're having trouble deciding on who to vote for, we try to at least really try to listen to things a little more objectively, not just one-sided, and
we like to go to the sources also.
Right. And
like even though we're very involved in social media and you can find us everywhere and on everything, we don't like getting our news from a single source, number one, or just a like the hearsay of it. We do like to hear the actual podcast that it's coming from, the actual interview that they're pulling it from. Whatever their sources are, that's what we like to see.
Yeah, getting the full context, getting the full as big of the picture as you can, not just the snippet 1 minute thing and make a decision on 1 minute, and just things like that. If they even gave you enough evidence to kind of form an opinion, how much information do you need to form an opinion? And so things like that. I think there's a lot of things that are lost in translation that they just make us feel and not think, and so we need to take a step back, pull yourself out of it, and then see it as one big picture before we just react and get emotional about it. Is there anything else you can think of?
Well, No, I like that we're doing this. I think it's going to be fun because we can finally express all of the different stuff that we know how to do. So like I said, like having the degree in theater, I really like helping out people with script analysis and set design and directing. So I've done all of
And
that stuff.
You're a singer, and that I think is
A
fascinating.
singer, an actress, and a dancer.
But the singer,
And then-
having used the voice, and now speech pathologist, having more of the
training on how to use
yeah,
your voice.
and more, yeah,
Yeah.
the more health part, or the more I don't know what you call it, but like the biology, or I don't know, like that. It's not just the artistic part of the singing; it's the actual
physiological part.
There you go.
Yeah. And so there's a lot to it. And any questions that I've coached singers before. I've been a singer, right? So doing a whole lot of it, and then people always ask me, like my family always asks, like, "Oh, do you still sing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I still sing, but I definitely don't sing the same songs I used to sing." I am classically trained, right? Like they taught me how to sing opera. I don't like singing opera. That's not like what I enjoy doing. I definitely like musical theater better, but I know how to do both healthily, and I know how to help people that are doing that.
Right. And I guess other things about are less official, like knowledge, like learned, or like what do you call it, like
Knowledge base.
yeah, but like things that aren't like degree based or whatever, or like
Our experiences,
or-
our world knowledge.
yeah, not even that, but I was gonna say more our likes. Like we like movies a lot, and we like to go catch a good movie. We've done a few ride reviews on our channel before, if you want to catch any of those. So those are essentially just our thoughts leaving the theater. It was kind of a review before, but now I'm kind of like to share our car conversation as soon as we walk out of the theater. Like what are people thinking right out of the theater before you even get a chance to totally soak it in? Like you just see it, I guess, see the process
Our
of it,
fresh thoughts of it.
soaking in, like not after it's soaked in or pre-soaked in. It's actually like it soaking in.
Pre-soak.
And
You like dad jokes.
I do. If
like
you could
food.
see our wall over here, it's a big old nerd wall. It has Star Wars and Harry Potter, and I'm a big Batman fan. And over here on this side, we got our Metallica guitars. I'm a big Metallica fan. We're fans of horror, which the Halloween season is upon us.
I also
we'll be
like Christmas.
We do. We
do.
do like both of them. We do like the Burrs.
The Burrs.
September, October.
November, December.
Right. And so
I love decorating. We like thematic stuff too. So like we've done party planning we've done before too, and
right.
we just
We like
dabble in everything.
throwing themed events and things like that.
Like even for movie nights, like we do a bunch of like
We'll do
ridiculous stuff.
We'll do themed foods or whatever.
Like something that pertains to the movie, and
Yeah.
it's just fun. We like having fun. We like enjoying the time we have.
Right. And
I think we do
Yeah.
a good job of enjoying the time we have too, though. Yeah, and so we like to share it all too.
so let us know what you guys would like the most help on. Which one do you feel the most blind in? Like walking like you have no idea what you're doing, or yeah, any of it. Let us know. Okay, we'd be glad to help in whatever way we can.
Yeah, we also there's so many different things that we have in our city that if you were to come, there would be no way of knowing
Right.
that that's there. And so like the touristy stuff, like
Don't know. We mentioned we're in El Paso, Texas, which is strange in its own because it's the border, and we'd love to tell you a story. I guess our experience. We don't have a lot of stories, but just like the whole border crisis and whatever, and if it's what the media makes it out to be or not, and so we're right at the tip of Texas, which borders Juarez, Mexico, and Las Cruces, New Mexico. So we're right in like three communities all put together, and So it's fun. I think it has its ups and downs, and the more I learn, all cities have their ups and downs, and whether it's a small city or a big city or whatever, it's probably the same.
We have a lot of historical, anyway. Like haunted stuff too, and like
yeah,
I like
we actually haven't been. But...
we haven't been to some of those tours, but they offer those all the time, and I think like if we were a tourist, I would probably want to go. So we have like this cemetery. It's called Concordia Cemetery, and some of the old gunslingers of the Wild West are buried there, and that was really cool. Like Billy the Kid was always around here. Pancho Villa was always around here. There's just a lot of historical cool things.
Yeah, and we have along with like building up a lot of the stuff, we were trying to show off things in El Paso on our Instagram. You can follow us on Instagram too if you'd like. We do have a TikTok also, but it's all a lot of the same things, but we are going to try to move a little more towards YouTube. Anyways, through that we have photography, and we do have some apparel. Like this is our own thing. This is our logo, Omni-Versal, and this logo we had made because here in not Las Cruces, in Ruidoso, which is a little town, a little forest town in New Mexico, recently had fires, and so we decided to try to make a shirt for to help with anything, like any funds or whatever they would need for it. So this is a heart that has the Texas flag and a little bit of the New Mexico flag in it, into the shape of a heart, and so that's why we created this design. And so we'll just do things like that from time to time, but check out our online shop too. We'll probably post the other things we find, like things we buy either online or whatever.
Well, like this little tree is also in support of the same. One of our friends actually lives in that village, and she has a shop. But because they were displaced in that time that they were having the fires, they had taken them out of... They had evacuated everybody. She was actually here in El Paso, and she was making some, and so she did that as a fundraiser for her and her family, and so support them.
Yeah, and we also fall for typical marketing stuff, so we'll buy random stuff when we love to share it to see what kind of random stuff we buy and whatever, and food and stuff we like. I think we'll share the food we have in El Paso. I think we have really good food in El Paso, and a lot of people that come always say like, dang, you guys' food here is... It's
very influenced.
Yeah.
So it's very influenced, but it has a lot of regulations, so it's not going to taste like the food that's in Mexico. But definitely our food here is
really good.
It's delicious.
All right. If you don't have anything else?
No, I'm excited to continue to share. We'll just be posting until y'all tell us what you want to see.
All right. Cool. Look forward to